Terence Crawford was fucking arrested, or not really arrested, but he was briefly put in handcuffs upon arriving back to his hometown after the win over Canelo on September 13th. Literally pulled up to his hometown. They had a homecoming parade ready for him. He did the whole thing, the whole 9 yards. He also received a key to the city, a little custom made belt. We're going to watch all the videos. That same evening, technically, 1:30 a.m. the following day, but early Sunday, okay, 1:30 a.m., after his homecoming parade, after receiving the key to the city, this man gets pulled over for reckless driving. This is basically the cliff notes. I'll give you a brief summary real quick. This arrest happened. Terence held at gunpoint. The mayor has responded. I think who's the guy here? Yep, the police chief has responded as well, an official statement. But long story short, an investigation on the traffic stop has been opened. And so this is the cliff notes, and then we're going to read some of the statements. So Crawford held at gunpoint by Omaha Police Department last night on his birthday after he received the key to the city during a homecoming parade just hours earlier for his recent win over Canelo. Crawford was allegedly pulled over for reckless driving. Upon the traffic stop, the police officer allegedly identified a firearm on the driver's side floorboard. The officer then ordered all 4 passengers out of the vehicle at gunpoint for his safety, quote unquote. A member of Crawford's security team was allegedly also carrying a legal firearm. Police later confirmed all occupants are legally permitted to carry firearms. A police supervisor and lieutenant responded to the scene upon Crawford's request. Police Chief Todd Schmatterer has authorized an internal affairs investigation on the traffic stop. So, a few things to break down even from this cliff notes. Looks like when Terence got put in handcuffs after being held at gunpoint, he requested the police officer to bring in his supervisor. He didn't want to deal with him. So, Crawford eventually ended up dealing with the supervisor and the lieutenant instead of the man who actually held him at gunpoint briefly. For his safety, apparently. But, I mean, if Terence is reckless driving, okay, that warrants a traffic stop. Was he really? The details will come out. An investigation has unfolded. So we will know exactly how fast Terence was going. All the footage will probably be made public eventually. And we're going to see the body cam footage of the full arrest. So let's see, But upon the traffic stop, he saw a firearm on the driver's side floorboard. That's interesting. So Crawford just had the gun on the floor, on like where the gas pedal is and shit. I would have thought he would have tucked it away in, like, I don't know, maybe the side or something. Crawford's team was also packing heat, his security. One of them had a legal firearm. Apparently Crawford has his license to carry as well. So all legal. Does this happen to every person? This would be my main question to start this off. Because, obviously there's going to be the skin color thing, right? So I'm going to ask the question. Does every person get treated this way who has a license to carry? Is that protocol for police officers to pull out that pistol and start, dealing with you at gunpoint? With the caveat, I guess, of reckless driving as well. Because I know the officer is going to say, well, he was reckless driving, blah, 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 and use that as an excuse. But plain and simple, if a white guy gets pulled over for reckless driving, upon the traffic stop, officer identifies a firearm, does he immediately pull it out? Or does he ask for a license or something like that first off? That would be my question. Especially a public figure. Maybe give him the benefit of the doubt, right? They always say, it's your own city that doesn't, that has problems with you. A lot of people have issues in their own city, in their hometown. Coming up, whatever the circumstances may be. I'm not talking about Terence, but in some situations, there are people who get arrested. They have run-ins with the police when they're younger, in their early days. They make something of themselves, whatever it may be. UFC fighter, rapper, whatever you want to call it, right? Basketball player. You come back to your hometown, and it's one of two things. Sometimes it can be two of two things. You're a target from the people you came up with, right? Especially if you came up in the hood. You're a target for all those people. They know you got the money. You're a walking lick. And number two, if you had trouble with the police for whatever reasons, right, the police could have a vendetta against you as well. They want to take you down. Shout out Boosie. Hypnotized with hatred. You got to know it. But yeah, sometimes cops get hypnotized with hatred. You know, they see this man on TV, right? I'll explain a little bit. Their kids be talking about Bud, right? The dad, you know what I mean? Whatever the case, he's the cop. But everybody talking about Bud, right? They start to hate it. So that's a theory. I'm not saying the cop did that shit. We're gonna find out though, if it was some malicious intent behind the arrest. Let's say Bud wasn't reckless driving. Let's see it. Let's see. Oh, and then here's the arrest footage.
Stepping out, seatbelt.
Step out.
I'm opening the door.
You can take
I'm
mine
opening
off
the door.
of me right here on my right. I'm keeping my fucking hands up.
I'm not reaching for no gun, bro.
Step out.
Can I move my phone?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Stepping out,
Hands up.
seatbelt.
Step out.
I'm
And you
opening
can take,
the door.
You can take
I'm
mine
opening
off
the door.
of me right here on my right. I'm keeping my fucking hands up.
I'm not reaching for no gun, bro.
Step out.
I'm not reaching for no gun, bro. That's what Terrence said to the cop.
Can I move my phone?
Step out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You can
Stepping
hear
out.
Terrence saying, "Are you serious? Are you serious?" when he starts putting the cuffs on him. It is not that deep, he said. Here's what the police chief said, okay? So Mayor Ewing, Chief Schmatterer ordered review of traffic stop involving Terence Bud Crawford. Says Omaha Mayor John Ewing and Police Chief Todd Schmatterer are aware of a video circulating on social media regarding a traffic stop involving Terence Crawford early Sunday morning. Chief Schmatterer has authorized an internal affairs investigation. Shortly before 1:30 a.m., officers working in the downtown area observed a vehicle recklessly driving near North 12th and Capitol Avenue. A traffic stop was conducted at Cass Street. While speaking with the driver, an officer observed a firearm on the driver's side floorboard. For safety, all four occupants were ordered out of the vehicle at gunpoint. The driver was later identified as Mr. Crawford upon verification of his driver's license and was issued a citation for reckless driving. One passenger, a member of Mr. Crawford's security team, was also found to be carrying a legal firearm. Police have confirmed that all occupants are legally permitted to carry firearms. A police supervisor and lieutenant responded to the scene at Mr. Crawford's request. That's the response from Omaha Police Department. The mayor issued a statement. I just want to read that. Okay, so here's a statement from Mayor John Ewing. My statement on Bud Crawford traffic stop. I learned Omaha police pulled over Terence Bud Crawford on a traffic stop downtown early this morning. After learning of this, I spoke personally to Bud Crawford. I acknowledged the seriousness of what occurred and how trust between law enforcement and our community is important and shows the need to be continuously vigilant about building relationships. Omaha Police Chief Todd Schmatterer has pledged an internal investigation, which I support and want to be full and thorough. We will gather all the facts and transparent with the public about our findings. Understand that my heart dropped in learning of this end to an otherwise wonderful day and evening celebrating our city's world boxing champion. We held a great parade and great event at Heartland of America Park. The evening birthday party at Steelhouse, which I and members of my team attended, was a showing of joy and pride. Omaha needs to remember this important day as a good one while we seek answers to how it ended. Meanwhile, we must ensure that every resident, no matter who they are, feels safe and respected in Omaha. At least he seems to be caring about Bud, you know what I mean? Got a lot of respect for him. Doesn't want it to be this type of thing where it's Bud versus the cops and this whole vendetta going on. So I think he's trying to pour some water on the fire here. But he's also being genuine, saying like, you know, we're proud of Bud. We love Bud. You know, it was a good day. Don't let, you know, a little mistake or whatever we're about to find out, whatever happened towards the end of the night, ruin what was, you know, a good day. So that's the Terence Crawford traffic stop situation. Hopefully Terence wasn't up to some bullshit, you know, because you can't make excuses. But if it was a bullshit arrest on the cops' end, you can't make excuses there either. So hopefully, I don't know, let's just see. But the allegations say that Terence was up to some bullshit, but you can't really trust the police, you know, and their word on shit. We all know that. So I'm gonna wait till the footage comes out and I'll be the judge of it myself. But again, I ask the question, is that protocol? Do you gotta up the strap on everybody who's got a, you know, a legal license to carry? I don't know how that whole thing works, but my gut tells me no. My gut tells me if somebody got a legal license to carry a firearm and they got it on them, I don't think that the cop naturally just ups the strap. But I could be wrong. It could be protocol. And I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't fault that either.